Disney's Pixar Soul, 7 out of 10 film. Let's start with the introductions. I'm me, you're you. This movie was about literally an average Joe who dies, meets an untimely death, and that's about where the movie took a turn. I didn't see any of the trailers going into this film or anything. What did I know about it? Not much. I watched Hakuna Machater's video talking about how black people get changed into something else. There's only a couple of Disney movies that came out in the last few years, and it's a woman who turned into a frog, and then we got this guy turning into a soul, and how that could be a problem. Didn't bug me. Pixar has like Cars, which is a Cars. Like if you look at human being films that they've done in the last little while, it hasn't really been many, so I don't know. I can't hold them to that standard. Cars, they did Toy Story, I guess, but Toy Stories has established characters and their toys, so it's hard to judge them off of that. But you can watch that video when you're done watching mine right here. I didn't have a problem with the race or anything like that. There was a moment which was cliche where they went to the barber shop in this film. I'm I'm in a tangent which just went into other tangents. I just wanted to say that I didn't see any trailers for this film, but I did watch all of the extras for this film. Now let me continue where I was. They went to the barber shop, and that's cliche for black people. They could have worked harder on this to provide a reason for why they're doing the cliche. For example, when he dies, uh, we are seeing what's happening to him in that little soul world in the before place. We see that, but the next time we join him in actuality, he's in the cat. That woman was in the body of Joe, and they were in a hospital, and it happened on the same day, and he gets out of the hospital in the same day. What I would have done is I would have kept him in the hospital for a week. I would have had the jazz band say, "Okay, come back next week at 7 o'clock, not tonight at 7 o'clock." And with that week of time passing with him in the hospital bed, maybe even a day, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days, his hair would have grown. He would have taken off his hat for the first time, which he doesn't do in the first 9 minutes of the film, and he would have saw that, whoa, it's a mess. I might need to go to the barber shop. And they could have explained that away. But they just went there. They literally just went there just to go there. They had like a cultural council that I saw in the extras. It was just Pixar employees who was hired that are black, and they just talked about this would be better if they were indoors rather than outdoors and more stuff. I like that. They probably contributed a little bit to the authenticity of it. John Baptiste is actually the man who is pianoing, like it's modeled after him. I know John Baptiste because I watched Stephen Colbert, and oh, also freaking Questlove. If you watch Jimmy Fallon, he's the drummer in the band. So they just connected two different late night show hosts in this film. So it gets points for that. Inside Out is another Disney Pixar directed by Pete Woods film. I could draw comparisons to that. But this one, they tried their best to make it different. The only time I thought about Inside Out was when they were talking about the 6 things that complete your circle for your Earth Pass. And I'm like, oh yeah, the sparks kind of make me think of emotions. In that moment, that was the only time I thought about Inside Out while watching the film. Other than that, it was pretty original. Couple of lessons in there. I like how that student, right before she was going to quit, she was talking about, man, it's about the state education that stifles individuality. I'm like, yeah, keep talking. I liked that part. I'll take my woke shit in these kids' movies if it's like that. Sure, great stuff in there. A couple of adult humor jokes, couple of but not sexual adult humor jokes. If you're worried, more stuff like I'm trying to hail a cab in New York. This would be difficult, even not considering the circumstances. I think there was a joke about Abraham Lincoln and a penny. There was a lot of jokes. Look, good movie, but just good. Because after this film was done, I went on my Disney Plus and I watched some Star Wars. I watched Clone Wars, and I learned about myself that I will take lore, things with backstory, things that will continue, comic books, movies, films, Star Wars. I'll take that when it doesn't end, when it ends with to be continued. That's what I like. That's what I prefer. I feel like investing all of my time in a 1.5 hour movie like Disney Pixar Soul is it's the only thing it's good for is for this review. That's the most I'll get out of it. But I know I'm not going to be talking about Soul No, I'm not going to be on its Wikipedia. There's not a fan communities covering Soul, but there is for the things that don't end. John Wick, that a fourth film and a fifth film is coming. Um, Rocky, Creed, getting into these things, it's so rewarding. All your past knowledge helps. Even when I was doing this review, when I was planning on doing this review, I was thinking about what can I talk about. It's not the same as when I talk to you guys about Ahsoka and why is her Leku at this length? It's got to do with Rebels. What like I can go into other things. So learning more about myself and my tastes, my preferences. I don't get into genres. I don't get into stories, stories basically that are not one of my like one of my what is the word for it? I don't know, franchises of interest, I guess. I won't do it. If everyone is talking about a show, yeah, I might just get into that show. When Walking Dead was the bee's knees, I checked out Walking Dead and I joined them around season 3. And I'm happy I did that. It was worthwhile. When I was always into Lost, I was going to use that as an example, but I think you guys get my point. I just like the saga stuff. That being said, I'm Chillmonger, 7 out of 10 film. Good job by Jamie Foxx. Good job by everyone who contributed to this film. Like it was good. It was an enjoyable time, and something that you would recommend to kids with no hesitation. This is good stuff. All right, Jill. Hey, I talked about Hakuna Matata. You should watch the video I was talking about earlier. It's on the side of my face. Bye. Well, I'll wait for you to click on it.